I really appreciate that you cut out the 35 hours you spent to the shooting range.
Yeah, we'll say I spent that long down there.
Why couldn't you just show us the final runs? Why did you show us your crappy first runs?
It's more authentic that way. There are some really cute references to the original RE4 with some of these charms. There's one in particular that we'll go over later. But for now, yeah, they're just kind of dangling.
Like that leg out of that dress. Every time I see that binoculars icon, I think it's a really messed up DualShock, or DualSense, rather. It's not DualShock anymore.
Someone make a mod for the PC version of this game where it replaces that icon with a similar icon for the old PS3 Boomerang controller prototype.
I still think they should have released one. Why didn't we get a Boomerang?
I don't think that thing likes the Boomerang.
What was that?
I don't know, Leon. It looked like a giant fish to me.
Looks like there's something over there. Damn, look at the size of that.
Now about the castle in the distance.
Oh, that's actually just the world's biggest White Castle.
Ah.
It's only a
Looks
bottle.
like it's burgers for dinner tonight.
I mean, it was white originally, but it's been around for a while, and, you know, the color degraded. This is such a great change.
Yeah. First off, let's go take a look at the lake real quick. Oh, also, this is where we put the hexagon pieces. Well, we gotta find 2 more.
Speaking of puzzles that are busy work, especially after you already know the answer.
I'm curious to see how many steps it takes ChaosArgate to solve that puzzle once he's able to do so.
Yeah, I think it took me longer than it probably should have on this run.
Oh no!
Don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at that footage in a while.
Now, there are some puzzles where the solution actually changes depending on difficulty. I can't remember if the hexagon one is one of those.
Ooh, fish. Let's go fishing.
Yes. I sure hope nothing bad happens. Oh no!
That was weird.
Man, what a weird dream.
So every time you die, it switches between 4K and 480p.
Sure, we'll go with that. And, yeah, this happens in the original too. I've seen people say that the remake version ruins it because it cuts away to a cutscene, like, very obviously for, like, half of a second before you die.
I wouldn't say ruins, but it is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. It, like, ruins is like a really strong word.
Yeah, ruins is the kind of phrase that you only use for one Twitter post and then never again.
I also want to see what would happen if you attempted to snipe these dudes from up here, but nothing.
Oh, I was really hoping for like a time paradox game over screen.
All right, well, I guess we should go over to the, what is this, the fishery?
The fish farm.
Yeah. There's a medallion there, and I'm gonna snipe it.
Nicely done. Now, in the original, this was one of the worst areas in the game, and I'm glad that it's not only back, but has been significantly retooled and is actually fun now.
Yeah, like, this area's not great, but I don't know, like, I'm not sure what it is. It feels way better now. Oh, also, Forehead up there is back.
Man, what was all that pausing about? Were you manipulating frames?
I don't remember.
Ah, yes, the pause buffer lore. Although, speaking of frames, this area, only on the GameCube original, though, was notorious for having just an awful frame rate and lots of ghosting and extra motion blur, because the GameCube couldn't really handle an area that was this big.
Huh. I didn't know that. The earliest, or I guess oldest version I am in possession of is the Wii version. And it felt fine there.
Well, I mean, when you have two GameCubes tucked taped together, it's a much more powerful experience.
I guess that's fair. I am kind of shuddering to think about how the PS2 version handled this area, though.
Not well, from what I've been told. I've only beaten it once. The PS2 version, it was a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly. But I'm assuming that the performance was not great.
Yeah, even just loading up the first area on the PS2 version, it's like, oh, you can tell they struggle to make it work.
I mean, it also doesn't help that they had to compress things down to a single disc, whereas on GameCube it was 2 discs.
Huh.
And they had to include all the original game plus a bunch of extra content and a whole new campaign, which maybe by the time this thread goes live, there will be some announcements as to whether that extra campaign will be remade as DLC for this game.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves right now, though. But yeah, the fish farm, like, I do like how they integrated it into the remake, where it's kind of off the beaten path. Like, it's still mandatory, but, like, you don't just randomly go through it to get to the lake now.
Yeah, it feels like it actually has a place in this world.
Yeah, like, it's actually named. I know what this place is for. Whereas in the original version, it's just swamp, I guess, with ridges.
Did you shoot the bolt out of his crossbow? Like, he didn't even fire it.
Yes, I did. He might have, like, just fired it, and I shot it, like, right as it was leaving the crossbow.
Either way, that was pretty cool.
I'm glad I got that on camera. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that again.
Same. Loud, wordless grumble. Oh.
Help, I'm being comboed!
He told you he was behind you.
Yeah, I guess there are some people who may not know this, but yes, the most of the enemies will call out "Detrás de ti, imbécile." I'm sorry for butchering that. When they are about to attack behind you, which means roughly in Spanish, "Behind you, you idiot."
I must have not had the correct earbud in, because I actually didn't notice it on the recording, so he must have been coming from my blind side.
I think like a couple of seconds ago, I think that enemy pushed you a little bit. That's actually one of the more interesting animation quirks about Ganado attacks, is that if you're too close to an enemy and they're trying to use, say, their axe or what have you, they will push you back, and it's actually really good for timing parries, because the length of time between the push and when the attack lands is always the same. So it's a little easier to line up.
Good to know.
And I believe you just parried that man's arm off.
I did. That parry might have also killed the Viper.
Well, you've rendered him armless now.
Well, mostly.
Out of the way.
With all that, I'm glad I didn't run into this trip mine over there.
Yeah, I have done that many times.
Oh, yeah, you can also crouch walk underneath them if you don't feel like disarming them or you want to save it to lure an enemy into the trap.
Also, I think his disarm animation is like the exact same one that Detective Castellanos has in Evil Within.
I would not be surprised. At least you don't have to hold down the button this time. Oh, are you trying to find the, one of the treasures here?
Yeah, there it is.
The antique pipe, looking very similar to how it did in more or less this spot in the original game.
Yep.
And I don't think we got a good look at the insignia key earlier, so here it is. I'm trying to remember now if I actually got footage of me inspecting the bolt thrower. I don't think I did.
Oh no, how will I live with myself knowing that I've never been threatened by the bolt thrower in the menu?
I think he skipped it because there's no barrel to point at the screen. We can clearly see it's not loaded.
Okay, so you just have to go into the inventory and take a bolt and point the arrow part at us.
Well, that'll be something for me to go get in editing if I remember. There we go.
Ah, those pesky hitboxes.
I forgot to look at hexagon piece A, but it's not that different from B and C. Just checking the map one more time to make sure I didn't miss any more treasures.
So, given that you've played 2 Remake and 3 Remake, how does it feel to control Leon relative to those other Remake games?
Honestly, pretty good. Like, Leon is way more nimble in this one. Like, I do kind of miss Jill's dodge from the 3 Remake. But he is just so much more of like... He feels like a one-man army in the 4 Remake.
Yeah, that's very lore accurate.
Yeah, and his physique does reflect that in the 4 Remake. Like, he's very buff. This is the way back.
No, where did that come from?
I don't know.
There's just a single beep and then explosion.
But yeah, this is the way back. I just wanted to like clear out any enemies before I moved on and got the boat gas.
Boat gas is a very serious issue. You should see your boat gastroenterologist about that.
I just went to go visit him last month, though. Is that dude turning into a broken neck? Yeah, he is.
Yep. Yeah, he was probably... Whoa, there. Yeah, that's... for those who may have missed it, those were some tentacles coming out of that bisected man.
Yeah, the Ganados get all wiggly if they're ever dismembered.
There is something weird about the hitboxes on enemy legs, particularly their knees. I don't know why, but I find that I can't really get accurate knee shots most of the time.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Alright, now we can go check on the boat gas after I pick up the small key.
You know, I had kind of a stupid thought. I wish the Vipers were also hidden in, like, drawers sometimes.
That would be great, yeah. Or actually, no, just one. And you make it really obvious and then scare the player into thinking that maybe it'll come up again, but it never does.
This is what I'm talking about.
Right, one jump cut back to the lake later.
Really, just making that a visual pun, too, because you cut while he was mid-jump.
What are you talking about? Leon is never mid. Wow, okay, I did not realize, because I thought that was also, I didn't realize Liquidy Poo was being cut off there. Wow, that's, well, not every joke can land, I guess.
I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to be creative in the editing to preserve that joke.
That's all of them.
Anyway, that's all the medallions, so let's go get our reward. And take an opportunity to save.
So that's a request done and dusted, eh? Good stuff, mate. Good stuff, stranger. What can I interest you in?
Oh yeah, we can finish the Viper side quest too while we're here. That's the third one.
Job well done deserves payment in kind.
Gotta get more spinels.
Yeah. Not that I'm gonna use them right now anyway, but you know.
Easy work.
You are eventually going to use the bolt thrower, right? Maybe not in this video.
Yeah, I do actually use it in this playthrough.
Come back
Like, it's
anytime.
fine.
Welcome.
Depending on your playstyle, it could be really useful.
Your weapons are in good hands, mate. I'll see you right. Hard times, mate.
Oh yeah, that's also my favorite electronics and pop culture themed satirical news site.
All right.
Oh wait,
Vote
shit, that was
time.
hard drive. Never mind.
Oh! Oh
Damn it.
no!
Oh no. Okay, you made up for the lack of the bolt thrower there by threatening us with the canister.
So yeah, the this little detour to get boat fuel was not in the original game. You just pass through the fish farm and you just get on this tugboat. And that's about it. Now there's a mini side quest to it.
And Leon was never seen again.
Well, at least we got a whole stack of harpoons we can use as oars if we need them.
So that's what was so special about that particular canister, is that it allows you to generate infinite harpoons.
Hmm. So this is Lago. You fight him he on rails, more or less, with the infinite harpoons in your boat. Ready them with L1, press R2 to throw them, and when you disengage the L1 aiming, you automatically throw the harpoon.
Which is a control quirk I was unhappy about.
Yeah, there's a challenge for not missing with any harpoons, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges I've yet to get.
Like, if I release my aim button, I would like to set the harpoon down.
Yeah, I just assumed that was
Yeah.
a bug. Like, if that was a deliberate design choice, I'm not happy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it fucking sucks. I hate it.
Think you can swallow me whole, huh?
Phrasing, Leon. Phrasing.
So,
You do not
yeah.
know what you have just unleashed, young man.
So yeah, just aim at Del Lago, hit him with the harpoon, and that's about it. This fight is also really long and way worse on harder difficulties because he has more health, and I think he can regenerate it if you take too long. I've never liked the Del Lago fight, even in the original game, so... Like, I'm happy that the controls are a little more fluid, but I still don't like this fight.
Yeah. At the risk of sounding like a whiny little bitch, I actually don't like the floatier controls. It is too precise. The original had weight to it that it actually made you feel like you were being dragged around uncontrollably by this giant lake monster. And while I understand for the sake of playability and updating the controls for modern context, I think for the purposes of narrative and excitement that, yeah, the controls are too good. And that is a stupid hill that I will die on.
Where'd you go?
All right. So eventually, Del Lago will shake loose of the rope that he's dragging you along, and you just kind of gotta spin around until you find him and can hit him. Otherwise, in the original game, he would knock you off the boat, and you have to mash like the square X button. I don't remember what button anymore.
It was randomized.
You gotta swim back to. Oh. You gotta swim back to the boat before he eats you. I don't know if that happens in the remake. I don't think I've ever been capsized.
No, it doesn't. You
Okay.
cannot be capsized, and instead it's replaced by the health bar.
Oh shit, yeah, there's a health bar now.
Yep.
How have I never noticed?
We got boat health.
Yeah, well, you get boat health coverage to help you when you're treating your boat gas. Also, in the original, when it came to mashing that button to get back to your boat, it would require more and more mashing the lower your health was.
Yep.
Also, I'm pretty sure it was affected by frame rate too.
Probably.
Fun fact, in the VR version of RE4, you don't throw harpoons because they don't want you to throw the Oculus Rift controllers. You get a harpoon gun instead.
Huh.
I kind of wonder if you're going to get the harpoon gun in the VR mode that's coming to the remake.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Also, I kind of missed the classic version of the end of that fight, where after everything is said and done, you just get this really anticlimactic shot of him turning the boat back on and just kind of cruising off.
Oh yeah, there's a QTE that's cut
Yeah,
from the
with
remake too, where
we got the-
Leon's almost gets pulled into the water because his leg gets caught on the rope. So you have to mash the square button to cut yourself loose.
Yeah, the remake does still have some QTEs, but they're all within gameplay. They don't interrupt cutscenes, thankfully. Oh, and also Del Lago means of the lake in Spanish. So, it's Lake the Lake Monster.